evening and welcome to Trending Tonight, the only show on primetime television where we care to explain the news behind the top trends. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. Two stories that we are going to track. Story number one on your screen right now. He was a new chief minister, supposed to bring in change, take the BJP into the future, perhaps help them win the February 2022 Uttarakhand elections. But Mr. Tirath Singh Rawat has a thing or two to say about ripped jeans and how that seems to be the biggest problem with all of us and all our problems. Ripped jeans is the big problem. In his very own state, his government has relaxed Kumbh rules despite COVID, which means a lot of relaxations. Anyone can go take a dip, a holy dip, whether he has or she has COVID or not. That is the rule. Will you or will you not call this a case, a classic textbook case of misplaced priorities in Uttarakhand? That's going to be story number one. We shall be discussing this. It won't be a political discussion. It will be a social discussion, something that you and I will have at home. Story number two, the big Delhi debate which is going on as of this moment. Who runs Delhi? Who is Delhi's boss? LG or the chief minister? This row is over the new NCT amendment bill which has been introduced in Parliament. Aam Aadmi Party versus Centre over who controls Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal has his strong points. The BJP is convinced that what they have presented in Parliament will definitely get in clarity as far as Delhi is concerned. So these two stories we are going to track right here over the next 30 minutes. But first, let's quickly listen in to what the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand had to say about ripped jeans.
आज मैं जब बैठा तो मेरे पड़ोस में बगल में एक बहन जी बैठी थी, लेकिन मैं जब उनकी तरफ देखा तो नीचे गमबूट थे, जब और ऊपर देखा तो घुटने फटे थे, बच्चे दो साथ में उनके थे। मैं कहा बहन जी कहाँ जाना है? दिल्ली जाना है। हस्बैंड कहाँ है? जीएनयू में प्रोफेसर है। तुम क्या करती हो? मैं एनजीओ चलाती हूँ। एनजीओ चलाती है, घुटने फटे दिखते हैं, समाज के बीच में जाती हो, बच्चे साथ में हैं, क्या संस्कार दो?
All right, let me now take this up for a discussion. We have Geeta Bhatt, is a political analyst. Will say what she has to and we'll know her views. Thank you very much, Professor Bhatt, for joining us. And Tara Kaushal, the author of Why Indian Men Rape, is also with us. Thank you very much, Ms. Kaushal, for joining us. Professor Bhatt, let's begin with you first. How on earth can anyone in his right mind defend the statements of the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, a man who's occupying a constitutional position?
Well, Sanketji, you see, each woman has a right to wear and to conduct herself. There is an echo, if you can please get it corrected.
Yes.
So every woman has a right to, wear what she wants to wear and to conduct herself the way she wishes to conduct. We are an independent country and a democracy on top of that. Well, what Tirath Singh Rawat ji, in the context in which he was trying to put forth the point, I think, was in terms of the kind of, roles that we endorse when we are part of a society and we are part of certain professions, or we go out, in the society for conducting a certain job. For example, if I say, like, I am a teacher. Now, if I go to my classroom wearing some hippie outfit, no one is going to throw me out of the classroom or of the university or point fingers at me. But however, when I go to the classroom in front of my students, there is definitely, explicitly or implicitly, they do look up to you as a role model or the way you conduct yourself.
Professor Bhatt.
Similarly, just let me give me 10 seconds more. Similarly, when you have a child you are taking to kindergarten and the teacher who's going to spend 5 hours, 6 hours with your child, the way she has presented herself in front of the parents is definitely going to leave an impression on the minds.
Professor
that
Bhatt,
how she is going to
Professor
take forth. So it is also
Professor Bhatt,
when it comes to rape,
you are linking two different things. You are
No, I'm not
basically linking a
It is
dress code.
It is the context. It
You are
is the
linking
context in which
issues
it
of a
has been
dress
said.
code. In offices, there will be a dress code. There is a decorum in parties, in social gatherings. It is often said dress
there are
code,
cases when there is
formal,
no
casual.
dress code.
That is understandable. In school, college, it is understandable. You tell me, will a chief minister dictate this? And he was talking in the context of motherhood, parenthood. I mean, are you trying to tell me that a chief minister says that a woman may or may not be a good mother simply because she wears ripped jeans?
No, it is not that. You see, in Indian culture and tradition, in any case, wearing anything torn is considered inauspicious. Shubh nahi mante. I mean, this is, since you said that we are going to have a discussion like we have in our home, I am trying to put forth this point.
Professor Bhatt, then you ban ripped jeans.
No, no, it is not. See, the question is not about banning. Never, nowhere he has mentioned that something, a ripped jean has to be banned.
It is not
But
just
the
about
point that is being
culture.
put
I
forth
think the
here
larger point
is
that the chief minister was making, and there cannot be any plausible defense. He was commenting on a woman's ability to be a parent simply because of the dress she was wearing. And I feel that there is something deeply offensive. Tara Kaushal is also with us. Tara Kaushal, do you or do you not feel that this assessment by a constitutional head is deeply offensive? Because in society, yes, these biases exist. But when you occupy a constitutional position, you are not supposed to assert these biases of the society.
Well, Sanket, thanks for having me. I was very amused by what Dr. Bhatt was saying, and I'm going to go, I've been making notes as she spoke, and I'm just going to go down some of the points that she's addressed in defense of Chief Minister Rawat. One of the things is that both she and him seem to situate the morality of a woman in her clothes, okay, which I find hugely problematic. We also go down to the fact that gender norms have to be upheld and they can be assessed via a woman's clothes. Now, these are all ridiculous things. How one presents, and whether it's liberal values or traditional values. And also, I must segue here to say that Indian traditional values are against women's human rights. We endorse marital rape. We say that a woman should not be going to places, should not be outside, should not be making choices of our own, whether it's where we go, who we're with, and what we wear. Now, coming back to your point of whether a politician should be saying this, of course not. But he is part of a patriarchal system that percolates all parts of society, whether it's our marriages and families and homes and educational institutions, and the politics and legal institutions. So in that sense, women in the country are assailed by statements like this one made by this politician. And it's in a long line of similar statements that have been made over the years. Somehow the only reason and the only time Ramdev can stop being the poster child of Sanskar is when Patanjali releases ripped jeans as part of their commercial and capitalist line. So we're a very hypocritical nation where the right of a woman to wear clothes is always questioned, to choose is always questioned, but the right of a woman to be safe and to live their human rights and their lives with agencies is always under threat.
Okay. I only have this much time. Professor Bhatt and Tara Kaushal, you made your point.
Can you give me 10 seconds more?
Okay, quickly, please.
I just want to add is that, yes, there are times when even women chief ministers in this country have questioned that, when a woman journalist was murdered, that why she had to go out at night in Delhi and travel all alone. And there are times when there is a rape had happened in Calcutta, the chief minister had said that why the rapes are happening is that all women in West Bengal are being raped. Yes, these are the kind of hypocrisies that we have seen in this country. My question is...
Don't think, Professor Bhatt, that Tirath Singh Rawat is only being singled out because he is a BJP chief minister.
No, not at all.
Any chief minister of any constitutional head who would make a comment like this will be called out in the society. Professor Bhatt, I've run out of time. I've run out of time. Tara Kaushal as well as Professor Bhatt, you talked about Indian tradition and not wearing ripped clothes. Well, let's just hope that all those poor people who have to wear ripped clothes, torn clothes, also fall into this very definition. Let's just hope so. Let's hope that the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand extends his definition to those people as well, who are wearing ripped clothes, not out of choice, but out of compulsion. Thank you very much to the two of you. Let's quickly shift to story number 2 right here. It's a big political debate that is going on in the context of the national capital, and for that I'll have to use this fancy bit of technology right behind me and explain what really is this all about. What is happening as far as Delhi is concerned? Why is the Delhi Chief Minister up in arms? Well, for that you will have to understand what is the NCT bill. Let me quickly zoom in for you. So this bill was introduced by the centre in the Lok Sabha on Monday, right? On Monday this bill was introduced. It's actually not a bill, it's an amendment to an existing bill by way of an ordinance. Let's now quickly move to slide number 2 right here. What is the NCT bill? It says bill is an amendment, as we told you, to the Government of National Capital of Territory Act 1991. So it's an amendment, as I just told you. This is an amendment. Let's move to point number 3. This bill seeks to give more powers to the Lieutenant Governor. Now this is where the problem comes in, because the Delhi Chief Minister feels that if you give more powers to the LG, what's the point of having an elected government in the national capital? I'll tell you what the explanation of the central government also is. They say that, we're just bringing in more clarity because there was a clarity issue. Aam Aadmi Party says that the bill is contrary to the Constitution Bench judgment. This matter went all the way to the Supreme Court, and now the Delhi government says that the bench itself had given very clear judgment in this context. So this goes against the Constitution Bench judgment in this particular case. Aam Aadmi Party also says that there is an attempt to take away the rights granted by the SC. So the Supreme Court granted certain rights to the state government. Now what the centre is trying to do is make a backdoor entry into the governance of the national capital region. Aam Aadmi Party also says that we strongly condemn BJP's unconstitutional and anti-democracy move. Now let's quickly get you a comparison, and for that we'll have this slide on the screen right now. What does the NCT bill say? It says the government in Delhi is equal to LG, right? So this basically means that the government in Delhi is LG. Whereas the Aam Aadmi Party, which opposes the NCT bill, says that the top court's decision, elected government is the government. So they are quoting the top court saying that the elected government of Delhi is actually the main government. So LG cannot be the government. The bill says all files will be sent to the LG. Aam Aadmi Party says intention is to put on hold all the decisions of the Delhi government, right? Next point. Executive decisions need LG's approval, says the bill. Aam Aadmi Party says barring three subjects, the government needs to only inform the LG and not seek permission each time. So this is a problem one keeps facing in the context of these half states. The NCT bill then says LG has power to stop a bill. Aam Aadmi Party says, what is the need for an elected government then? Then you don't have a government. If the LG will decide on everything, then why do we need a government? Now that's the political war that is going on between the centre as well as the state government of Delhi. We carried out a discussion. We got two MLAs of the Delhi Assembly, Mr. O.P. Sharma of the BJP and Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party, and we asked them these questions in an attempt to get the right answers. अरविंद केजरीवाल को जो बोलना था, उन्होंने जो भाषण दिया अपना, उसमें से 6 मूल बातें हमने आज दर्शकों को दिखा दी. अब ओपी शर्मा जी आपके पास आते हैं. आप मुझे बताइए कि उनकी बात से आपको क्या आपत्ति है? वो तो बहुत जोर शोर से अपनी बात रख रहे हैं सामने.
देखिए, केजरीवाल जी जो कह रहे हैं और जो वस्तु स्थिति है, उन दोनों में फर्क है. राज्यपाल और दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री के बीच सामर्थ्य और सीमा की लड़ाई आज से नहीं है। जब दिल्ली में पहली विधानसभा बनी, चौधरी ब्रह्मप्रकाश तत्कालीन सीएम और उस समय के प्रधानमंत्री से लेकर आज तक ये लड़ाई चली आ रही है। लेकिन 1956 में जब सीमित अधिकारों वाली विधानसभा बनी, तब से लेकर अब तक केजरीवाल जी से पहले जितनी भी सरकारें थी, केंद्र में और दिल्ली में अलग अलग सरकार रहने के बाद भी छुटपुट अगर कोई बात मतभेद हुई तो वो सुलझा ली जाती थी, स्थिति यहां तक नहीं पहुंचती थी। लेकिन जब स्थिति बिगड़ी 18 में, जब कोर्ट और कोर्ट से सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक पहुंचे, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने सीएम साहब की जो शक्तियां हैं उनका तो उन्होंने विवेचना की, लेकिन उन्होंने जो गवर्नर है उसके विषय के अंदर वो मौन रहे। तो उस फैसले में ये कहा गया कि केंद्र सरकार इस चीज का स्पष्टीकरण करे कि किसकी क्या पावर है, तो उसी के एक्सटेंशन में ये संशोधित बिल।
शर्मा जी, फिर आरोप तो ये लगाया जाएगा ना कि आपने केंद्र ने जी उपराज्यपाल की जो भूमिका है उसको निर्धारित करने के चक्कर में अपना वर्चस्व कायम करने की कोशिश की। आरोप तो ये लग रहा है।
सुनिए, दिल्ली केंद्र शासित प्रदेश है, दिल्ली में केंद्र की राजधानी है, केंद्र का वर्चस्व ही रहना ही चाहिए, ये एक सामान्य और सरल बात है। अब आप क्या ये चाहते हैं जहां केंद्र की सरकार है वहां स्टेट का वर्चस्व रहे? ये तो 56 से लेके आज तक किसी सरकार ने ना तो सोचा ना किया। अगर होना या करना था तो 56 से लेके अब तक अनेक
राघव चड्ढा से जान लेते हैं कि सन 56 से ऐसा 2015 में क्या बदल गया कि अब स्थिति जो पहले जिस तरीके से होती थी वैसे अब नहीं हो रही?
समन्वय नहीं कर पा रहे ना, दिक्कत इनकी ये समन्वय नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। अब से पहले समन्वय होता रहा, शीला जी की सरकार थी, अटल जी की सरकार थी, मैं दोनों अलग अलग सरकारें।
हाँ,
मैं कर देता हूँ,
एक सेकंड। हाँ, राघव चड्ढा,
मैं कर देता हूँ समन्वय। देखिए संकेत जी, ऐसा है कि 15 साल शीला जी ने भी सरकार चलाई दिल्ली में, उससे पहले भाजपा के मुख्यमंत्री भी रहे, मदन लाल खुराना जी मुख्यमंत्री रहे, बड़े सफल मुख्यमंत्री रहे, बड़े पॉपुलर नेता रहे। हमारी सिर्फ इतनी दलील है कि मदन लाल खुराना जी, शीला दीक्षित जी, इन्होंने जब सरकारें चलाई, जो अधिकार क्षेत्र उनका था, जो विषय उनकी सरकार के अधीन आते थे, वो विषय अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार के अधीन भी आना चाहिए। यहाँ पे कोई दिल्ली को पूर्ण राज्य का दर्जा दिलाना और विषयों को छीनकर अपने ज्यूरिसडिक्शन में लाने की तो बात ही नहीं हो रही। वो एक अलग लड़ाई, उसे बाद में लड़ेंगे। और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बड़े स्पष्ट तौर पर कहा, और मैं सरल भाषा में बता देता हूं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि 3 विषय छोड़कर कानून व्यवस्था, पुलिस और जमीन, ये 3 ऐसे विषय हैं जो उपराज्यपाल यानी कि केंद्र सरकार के अधीन आएंगे, क्योंकि दिल्ली जो है वो उसमें इंपॉर्टेंट इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, अंतरराष्ट्रीय दूतावास हैं, राष्ट्रपति भवन है, देश की संसद है, प्रधानमंत्री का निवास भी है। तो ये 3 विषय जो हैं ये उपराज्यपाल के विचाराधीन रहेंगे, वो इस पे काम करेंगे, सरकार नहीं करेगी। लेकिन ये 3 छोड़कर जितने भी विषय हैं, बिजली हो, पानी हो, शिक्षा हो, स्वास्थ्य हो, उन सब
सरकार के अधीन
मुख्यमंत्री मालिक है। हाँ। मुख्यमंत्री बॉस है।
तो अभी क्या बदल रहा है?
मालिक नहीं है।
अब ये बदल रहा है कि अब जो ये अमेंडमेंट एक्ट लाया जा रहा है संकेत जी, जो बाकी सारे विषय जो हमें दे दिए गए वो हमसे छीनकर,
नहीं, पर शर्मा जी का कहना है कि वो सारे विषय
कहा जा रहा है कि एलजी मालिक है। अब 2 चीजें सुन लीजिए पहले।
अगर आप शर्मा जी को एक सेकंड, शर्मा जी आपने सुना राघव चड्ढा क्या कह रहे हैं कि 3 विषयों के अलावा जो बाकी विषय हैं उसमें तो मुख्यमंत्री काम करेगा।
सवाल ये है, दिल्ली का बॉस कौन है? समझ लीजिए, दिल्ली केंद्र शासित प्रदेश है, केंद्र का यहां शासन है। अब मैं आपको 1-2 मिसाल देता हूं।
केंद्र शासित प्रदेश नहीं है।
अरे आप पूरा सुन लीजिए, जब आपका नंबर आएगा आप बोलना। लाखों की दवाई पराली की आपने खरीदी, करोड़ों का आपने विज्ञापन दे दिया। दवाई लाखों की है,
अब संकेत जी
विज्ञापन करोड़ों का है। इसी तरीके से जनता के टैक्स के पैसे के करोड़ों करोड़ रुपया आप विज्ञापन में देश और दुनिया में खर्च कर रहे हैं। तो सवाल यह है कि कोर्ट ने ये कहा कि दिल्ली का बॉस कौन है, सीएम है या राज्यपाल है, इसके बारे में स्पष्टीकरण भारत सरकार या जो है संसद करे।
बिल्कुल भी नहीं संकेत जी, जरा 2
राघव चड्ढा नहीं, इसमें शर्मा जी दिक्कत ये है ओपी शर्मा जी की जिस तरीके से एनसीटी बिल में विधेयक द्वारा संशोधन किया जा रहा है, उससे संदेह ये प्रकट होता है कि आप एक ऐसी स्थिति उत्पन्न कर रहे हैं कि एक सुपर बॉस बिठा देंगे आप मुख्यमंत्री के ऊपर। ये आरोप
सुनिए संकेत जी, संदेह के विषय की अगर बात करेंगे तो संदेह से तो दुनिया चलेगी नहीं, और ये बिल लाना केंद्र सरकार का लेजिटिमेट अधिकार है, वो अपने अधिकार का पालन कर रही है। और मेरा कहना इसमें ये है कि दिल्ली के अंदर, बार बार मैं कह रहा हूं
संकेत जी, मुझे भी मौका दे
दीजिए। आपके पास आऊंगा राघव, आऊंगा।
ये पूर्ण राज्य नहीं है। आप बार बार इसके पूर्ण राज्य की सरकारों के साथ जबकि अब इसकी तुलना करेंगे,
नहीं, पूर्ण राज्य वाली बात तो अलग है, वो तो हर पार्टी के मैनिफेस्टो में होता है कि पूर्ण राज्य बनाया जाए और वो सारी बातें, हम उसकी बात कर ही नहीं रहे।
जब बनेगा जब देखेंगे।
जी राघव चड्ढा।
संकेत जी देखिए, इसके मैं जरा 3-4 इंपॉर्टेंट बिंदुओं पे बात रखना चाहूंगा। बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता लगातार एक ही राग अलापे जा रहे हैं कि ये हमारा कानूनी अधिकार है, हमारे पास बहुमत है लोकसभा में, हमारे पास बहुमत है राज्यसभा में, और हम कानूनी तौर पे दिल्ली सरकार की सारी शक्तियां छीन रहे हैं। ये हमारा कानूनी दायरा है, कानूनी अधिकार है, हम ये कर सकते हैं। अगर इनके पास लोकसभा और राज्यसभा में मेजॉरिटी है संकेत भाई, तो ये लोग आज अगर चाहें तो देश के संविधान को भी बदल सकते हैं।